This is a review of the Primus Eta Spider stove. Right, so as I said before, this is the Primus Eta Spider. It comes in this little carry case, which also doubles up as like an insulated holder. It's big enough; it fits everything inside there. So it's got a little pocket on the top of the lid there, and that's good for storing the little igniter that comes with it. It's not got a piezo ignition on the actual stove itself, so you get a little clicker to use instead. The stove itself is obviously modelled on the Primus Spider anyway in terms of its design. So we'll quickly just boil a little bit of water. Wayne's had his cup of tea, and now it's my turn. So that should be enough water for a cup of coffee there. Got little magnetic feet that stop the stove from sliding around, and you get this little handheld piezo igniter. So all that's left to do, when you've slotted the stove inside there, connected the gas, turn the gas on, hold the piezo down there, give it a click, and away you go. One good thing about this stove, particularly in cold weather like tonight, it's got a little preheat tube for the gas. So without going into too much detail, when it gets colder, the flow rate of the gas will slow down, and it'll struggle to vaporise and come through the feed as gas anymore. What the preheat tube does is, when you've turned the canister upside down and fed the stove with an inverted liquid gas fuel, the preheat tube will heat that gas back up, changing it from liquid form into gas form again, and allow the burner to continue. The Spider's actually taken the place of the ETA pack lights, I'm sure was the name of it, stove I've used before. It's just a redesigned sort of windshield and stove arrangement more than anything, just on first look. And the lid's slightly different as well. The handle's different, this one's easier to grab, but on the previous version, the lid you could twist and it'd lock into place, which I found a bit of a nuisance, to be fair. The windshield's doing a lot to cut out the wind and stop interrupting the flame, so that's a plus point so far. And as I've said, the preheat tube is another big factor in the effectiveness of this stove. Again, on the pot itself, it's got a heat exchanger underneath, which helps hold a lot of residual heat close to the pot. If you was just relying on the burner itself, it'd feed a lot of heat up into the centre of the pot, which if you're cooking proper food in there could lead to it sticking, and it'll lead to general wear and tear just on the front of the pot there. But the heat exchanger will hold a bit of heat around the edges and just allow for a more thorough and more even sort of heating up of the pot itself. So we're on a rolling boil now, so I'm just going to nip and make myself a quick cup of coffee, and we'll see what it's like for preparing food with. So that was our first look review of the Primus Eta Spider. You might say on first look it's quite bulky, it's quite big to carry, but when you take into consideration the fact that you've got the pot and the windshield and the bowl all thrown into one package, it's actually not that bad. The pot cozy is quite a good idea. In the past I've been known to try and make my own, but they've never quite worked out well. One thing that I neglected to mention in the video is that the pot comes with a non-stick coating. After having previously used other Primus pans with a non-stick coating, I could probably safely say that this will stand up quite well. One thing I didn't quite like about this stove is the fact that it's got a separate handheld piezo ignition rather than one on the stove. Considering the fact that I always carry a lighter and or a fire steel, it's kind of irrelevant. As a means of boiling water, this stove boils quite quickly. One thing that I'll be interested to see in further reviews is how well it copes with cooking actual food. Keep an eye out over coming months for an extended video review of this item. As we use it more, we'll get a better overall idea of how good a stove it actually is. We'd like to thank Cotswold Outdoor for providing this item for our review. The review was independent, and any views and opinions contained within this video are our own. You can find a link to this item on their website in the description below.